During the 2000s, the Republic of Georgia engaged in a number of reforms to improve the quality of its public sector. One of the most notable successes was the creation of one-stop shops, public service halls, to provide a variety of services to Georgian citizens. In January 2016, I spoke with Nino Chichua about how this was done.
I am Nino Chichua. At present, I am Director of Marketing and Service at a medical corporation, Evex. It is one of the largest network of hospitals in Georgia. So before that, I worked at Public Service Hall, which was the most successful reform of Georgia in 2011. I started working at Ministry of Justice in 2010. It was summer in August. Before that, I was working at private sector, and I was invited there as a marketing professional just to draft the idea of a public service hall and to plan and implement the project with the team of Ministry of Justice of Georgia.
Maybe you could explain the concept of a public service hall.
Yes. The main objective of Ministry of Justice was to make public services more accessible and available for the population and to improve them. It was the main strategy and idea. And there was an idea how to improve them and just to create one institution, one organization which would combine and integrate all the services. Before that, the services were delivered via 5 different agencies which were under Ministry of Justice, and I will just list them. It was Civil Registry Agency, National Agency for Public Registry, Archive of Georgia, Enforcement Bureau, and Notary Chamber. Those 5 different agencies delivered different services to the population of Georgia. So the idea was to optimize and to integrate them into one space. So the idea was, should it be a branded house or house with different brands? So we just discussed a lot and decided just to create one branded house which would have different services, because when you are thinking where should I take a passport, where could I register my business, where could I register my property, sometimes people didn't have identification of those agencies and were asking, where can I get my passport, where can I register my wedding, marriage, whatsoever. And we decided just to combine and them into one space that was called Public Service Hall. In Georgian, it was House of Justice, but in English, we just translated it Public Service Hall. And so we drafted the project strategy. The main idea was to improve services, to improve customer satisfaction of population, and make them more and more simple, short, in timely manner. And we integrated about 300 services into one space.
Now, I've actually visited the one here in Tbilisi. It's a beautiful building with lots of windows, and it's all transparent, and services very quick. So you really did a very good job on it, I think.
Yes, we did a very good job. Really, we worked 24 hours a day. It wasn't even enough. The buildings, all of them are transparent because the idea is just to be open, transparent to people, available for extended hours. The buildings itself are different in terms of architecture, facade. They have become landmarks in terms of modern architecture in different cities. But as for the interior, procedures, services, ambience, all of them are one and the same, branded by Public Service Halls. The colors are very warm, the gay, and the idea is just to be open, transparent, available for consumers and population, and consumer orientation is the main focus.
And can you say something about how your background in the private sector helped in doing this job?
Yes, my background is mostly financial sector, but I dealt with marketing. I was a marketing manager, and this helped a lot because it was a pure marketing project, and we created an agency which operated more like a private organization than a governmental organization. So marketing approach, marketing thinking helped the project a lot because all the processes each step which we were planning and implementing, we always took into consideration population, consumer wants, consumer demands, what they wanted, because this reform of one-stop shop principle began soon after Rose Revolution. It was in 2005, and they tackled with corruption very effectively. One reason was that registrars, those people who were in front, they registered services, gave information, gave consultation, but as for payment, banks were introduced and tellers were taking money. So this part of corruption was tackled in this way. And what did Public Service Hall did? It was a step ahead again, maybe, I don't know, 1 or 10 steps ahead. It was consumer orientation and combining everything into one space, because customers didn't think, where shall I take, because passports were delivered at one agency. Property and business was registered at another one. Enforcement Bureau was again other agents. So people didn't have identification and awareness of those agencies. And in this case, you want to deal with government, you want to deal with those registrations and pro services. You know, where shall I go? I will go to Public Service Hall. So in this case, we made it easy for people, because Public Service Hall is the place which just deals and solves all your challenges and issues in terms of services and registrations. And intensive trainings in competence, because there were lots of legal issues, and trainings in effective communication. People were not treated like citizens, they were customers. And it was a shift, because when you entered, everybody was smiling at you, welcoming, friendly, those very warm, light colors. Interior, we just used wooden patterns. They were very light and open, and marketing did a lot. We branded it very successfully. We had support, political support. Since we opened the first one in Batumi, which was in 2011, in May, it had a very positive response from the population of Georgia and from abroad. I remember when Hillary Clinton just visited Rasmussen, many ministers, presidents, all of them was asked. All of them were very surprised, astonished. They could not conceal their, I would say,
envy. I wish we had those.
I wish we had. And everybody asked, where did you copy this from? And we said, you know, it's a reform made in Georgia. And we were very happy and proud of it. I always conducted marketing researches. We always asked people what you like, what you do not like, what's the level of your satisfaction. And they said, you know what we like about public service? You don't have to fill anything. The registrar, Public Service does everything for you, and the only thing is that you just sign the document. So it really made changes. And this quality management system, we did this mystery shoppers, customer satisfaction, internal audit. It's not easy to serve customer, to delight them, to meet their needs and wants. It's quite difficult job for those. Everybody could not do that. So we selected those people who could communicate effectively to consumers.